Hello there, chaps and chappets. This is pretty much the ultimate tactic. We've already managed to secure 3 rank 1 finishes with a 5-2-2-1. And I truly do believe it is the best tactic for taking down, good players that are using formations such as the 4-4-2 and the 4-2-3-1. Having that build up with a 5v4 against both of those formations is going to allow you to control the game and really just stop them in attack. So I'll go more and more in depth with some of the tactical concepts as we go, but in terms of the custom tactics, the first one is we've got the width on 38, and the reason is that, the 5 at the back already covers a lot of width in the defense, and we really just want to make sure it's a bit more compact to cover those inside spaces, because a lot of the attacks are going to be coming through the middle. In terms of the depth, I feel like it's just enough to impose yourself on the game without being too deep. Slow build up and possession on the chance creation, and then the complete opposite on the width in the attack. We want to be stretching the pitch. We want to be especially against a formation like a 4-2-3-1. Their kind of power is trying to keep you narrow, is trying to keep you in the middle of the pitch, because they got 2 CDMs just kind of sat in front of those centre backs. We want to be stretching the pitch and making it really difficult for them to defend. That's the thing. It actually almost makes me chuckle though, the thought of the 4-2-3-1 being this solid formation in it. It has been for years, but let's say you want to break down the 5 at the back. Best of luck. Really best of luck, because there's just no space. Practically every bit of space is going to be covered. You got to think, there's a reason why my guy Thomas Tuchel is getting a 1-0 win against Man City in the Champions League final. They just couldn't get through. So the back 5 all on balance. For 2 centre mids, we've got stay back while attacking, cover centre, stay on the edge of box for cross. And they're pretty much just going to be filling in any gaps, just like you would with 2 CDMs in a 4-2-3-1. So now coming to the attacking side of the game, because, we're not just looking for 0-0s. Although that would be kind of vibey, let's not be silly, but, come back on defence, cut inside on Carrasco. What this enables you to do is just kind of occupy those different zones. The winger can go into the half space, and then the wing back can now attack that wider area in that 2v1, which is really difficult for them to deal with. Then, of course, the defensive side of things, you've got to come back on defence, and there's 2 reasons why this is actually really good. If a wing back is forward, then the left winger can actually cover for him, usually for long enough, so that the left wing back can get back. And then as well, we don't want them to be getting 2v1s if they're overlapping with their right back. We don't want them having 2v1s. So, we want to create that 2v2. But, even if a left wing is at C, the centre back can technically create that 2v2 against them anyway. So, best of luck to him, man. They're really mudded trying to break us down. Getting behind on the central striker. And then right wing, we've got, I think, free roam and getting behind and come back on defence. So they're the 2 lads that are just going to be really kind of breaking through the lines. And the same concept applies with the right winger kind of getting on the inside with a free roam. And then coming back on defence, creating that 2v2 in the wide areas. My. So now into the best bit, actually showing the in-game examples. We're getting stuck into Div 1. With the Road to Glory team. Shout out Lego Padme FC, the Road to Glory team. And it's a hell of a team, man, using the 5-2-2-1. We're up against a 4-2-2-2. This guy looking to do the most, and straight away, he's trying to find the gaps, and Savage just filling in the gaps in the midfield there. And then, a lot of teams like to press from the front, and we're easily able to play out from the back. We got a square all around that lad there trying to press us, and it's just, we have so many options at the back. And then, obviously, the wing backs are always going to be in a lot of space on the switch. And they're pretty much the easy get-out pass every time. You can give it to the wing-back and then you're on the attack. And it's often dangerous because you've got that overlapping attack. And now Spinazzola down this left-hand side looking to get it in amongst them, man. And just about gets blocked there. But I think it's off a corner there. We just gave a little gap. Insigne getting the goal. And that's the thing. Now they got to break us down. That's the tough thing. Is they have to now come at us and try and get through the gaps. And, this is 52 minutes into the game at this point. They still haven't managed to get through. And then we can just hit them on the counter. So Savage just driving on through. My. The guy's got the shoulders. And, we're looking for the space. Spinazzola actually going on this outside lane. And as you can see, Insigne Mertens are actually tucking in there in the middle, very central. And we actually get a really good chance. Not able to score it there. Savage driving in the half space. Gets us the second goal up against his 4-4-2 team. And, now he's really got a task. I think, the differences with this formation and other formations, when you score maybe 2 goals, it's practically over. And mine have always break there, but we got the constant in-behind threat. The constant in-behind threat that they're really struggling to deal with. Chiesa just running on through, causing all sorts of havoc in their defence. And, you know, they're having a really rough game. And we got a lovely little triangle we can easily set up there with Savage. And then, you know, we're in once again. And we're actually just countering teams. Like, we're actually just kind of, you know, you can play a slower possession game, or you can literally just run at them on the counter because they're going to try and commit so many players forward to try and attack you. And the game ends up finishing 2-0. It was super comfortable. Like, the guy just didn't have any chances really at all. You know, 4-4-2, typical meta stuff. And, you know, especially with the 4-4-2, as I'll show here, they really just have a big problem trying to counter-attack you because the left mid and right mid are often going to come back in that 4-4-2 in the defensive phase. So when they try and counter you, they're going to try and give it to the strikers, but you've got a 3v2 in that zone of the pitch every time where you've got that advantage. And that's, you know, if a centre mid isn't covering that. So really, you're just not really going to see all that many counters that are going to be successful against this team. And you often have as well a lot of cover from wing backs and other players coming back as well. So you just, yeah, like honestly, I've had other formations where, you know, I think like the 4-3-3 third variant, that is really good for pressing. But then on the counter attacks, it can be a little bit weak if you don't actually manage to win on the press. But with this, the counter attack is covered, man. It really is covered. So, you know, in this next game, we're actually playing, this is with my other account now, my second account, and qualifying for FUT Champs. And as you can see, Adama Traore coming in on that inside space while, you know, we have the kind of a wing backs in that wider area. We break out once again. Wing back, always the man in space. And as you can see, practically all of the attacks are going down the wing because I just know that I can instantly get at practically anyone in any formation. Apart from actually if I played another 5 at the back, it'd be a hell of a lot more difficult. But, you know, I can go at any 4 at the back just playing down the wing and attacking down the wing because we can create those overloads, those 2v1s in the wing areas. And I don't really care what they put in the middle of the pitch a lot of the time because those 2 CDMs, we're not allowing them to really mark their authority on the game at all. So we're playing out the back here, and it's quite easy again because we just have the overloads in this area. We have a numerical superiority at the back, and we're comfortably able to play out the back. And Adama Traore on that free roam is actually dropping in, and once again, playing out the back. It's easy as you like, really. Like, there's just kind of no struggle playing out the back. And I think, you know, if I was going to come up against a pro player and someone that I knew is way better at me than, like, at the game, this is the formation I'd use hands down. Because it's the only formation that I feel like I could actually have some form of control and actually be able to use strategy in order to overcome someone that is really, really good at the game. Like, it's just so solid and it enables you to, you know, control the game to that next level that you can't do in a 4-2-3-1. Like, genuinely a meta formation, I would genuinely pick this over a 4-2-3-1 against, like, a really good player to beat him. So, you know, because in the past, it always used to be a 4-2-3-1 that I would pick for that kind of game. So there you have it, chaps and chappers. I have to say, I'm actually a little bit scared because I might have just created the next meta. And if that's the case, we might be looking at a lot of 0-0s now.
What have I done?
You look says. You look says. You look says. You look says.